Hi, Olympia. So today we're talking about the March 4th, 2025 Olympia City Council meeting. And I don't know, rabbit. It was the first one of the month. And it was one where it seemed like we just wrapped up some really long-standing work that's been ongoing.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is Council in 10.
For the record, I'm Kelly Purse-Brassett.
And I'm Susan Grisham.
Hey.
All right. So we started out with roll call. Councilmember Cooper was excused. There were no announcements, and the agenda was approved. And we moved right along into special recognition. Councilmember Vanderpool read a proclamation recognizing Disability Awareness Month. Jocelyn Nelson from the Disability Justice Task Force Project spoke of disability being a complex issue that goes beyond access and accommodation, and it's about discrimination that connects ableism, racism, classism, and LGBTQIA2S plus discrimination. And she talked about how historically people of color and disabled people experience higher rates of poverty, incarceration, and barriers due to systemic discrimination. And she noted that the fight for disability rights has always been a collective effort by diverse coalitions of activists, from Black Panthers to veterans to LGBTQIA2S plus and other communities coming together to support each other in this work. And then Sarah Norton, who is from the Disability Inclusion Network, discussed the challenges of living as a disabled person in the community.
Yeah, and it was good. I think I was really I guess impressed and thought about the mayor's statement, asking folks to be mindful of the disabled people, because we are all, everybody, an illness or an accident away from being disabled ourselves. It's an easy group to join.
Absolutely. Yeah. And there are some people who are members of it that you wouldn't even know.
Right.
So being mindful and kind is really important.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think we went into public comment then. We had two in-person commenters. Both of them were talking about their some difficulties they were having in the community and seeking some help from the city to resolve those issues. And both were connected with staff members after their comments to see what it is the city might be able to do to help them. So, and we went into
the consent calendar. So there was one item pulled from the consent calendar, which was actually my item. And that was approval of the 2025 Youth Council Work Plan.
You've been working hard on that one for a while.
So we started working on Youth Council in 2022.
But those kids are grown now.
Seriously, they're all graduated from college. So this is the first year that the Youth Council is stood up. So we presented their first work plan, which is really rooted in the work of our comprehensive plan update. So that is our plan out through 2045 to update the planning for the city in many facets. And it was a really ripe opportunity for young people to get involved, because so much of the Youth Council is about young folks giving feedback and giving direction on decisions that are made that will affect them in the future. They are not voters, so this is one way for them to put their stamp and their voice in the work that we're doing. And then other items on the work plan related to other issues are, they're doing some recruitment planning and some work for recruitment, which is coming up. And then they are really interested in receiving information about our housing and homelessness program. They're interested in doing some work around Overdose Prevention Day, which happens in August, because a classmate recently experienced an overdose. So they're really concerned about that and want to do what they can to do some work around that. And then they're interested in inner city transit and young people riding the bus. So there's a lot of stuff throughout this work plan that really will help elevate the voice of young people in our community. And council was happy to approve that.
They were, and it's cool because the comp plan that vision for 2045, those young people will be living and voting in the decisions that are being made right now and the vision being set right now. So it's kind of cool that they get to have a voice in it. And I was impressed that council really was excited and saw a lot of possible opportunities for beyond that for youth to have a voice in city work. So that was pretty cool.
I have no doubt we have some future city staff or council members in this group.
Definitely, definitely. So we went into other business at this point, and again, another piece of work that's been working its way through the city for a while came to fruition. And on this item was about council voting on an ordinance to amend the code to establish a community police board. And Assistant City Manager Stacy Ray presented and has led that work for the last maybe year and a half, 2 years. And this community police board is one of the legs of the revisioning of our police oversight system. And this work has involved a co-creation process with members of the Social Justice and Equity Commission, members of the community, and representatives from the Olympia Police Department. And their work resulted in a recommendation on a framework that included a civilian auditor, OPD internal controls, and a community police board. And this board is actually a transformation and enlargement of the current use of force board, which that board are 6 community members who kind of stand at the ready if there's a use of deadly force, and they observe the investigation for transparency, and when they are involved, and this is a group that we hope they never have to be called on. And although a few times that they are, they then report back to council about what they saw and what that process was about. So. So the community police board is focused on ensuring accountability and transparency with the Olympia Police Department. It'll collaborate with the police auditor, and it will still do that core work of the use of force board as well. And that was approved unanimously by council.
Yeah, and I think it's important to know that this is the continuation of our reimagining public safety work that has not gone away. It just continues.
It just continues. It's still a lot of work to be done, but it's a lot of good work. And I think the council had a lot of praise for the Olympia Police Department, because I think it's important to note to the community that they're embarking on this work not because they have to. They're not under some oversight by the Department of Justice or some other sort of agency that's come in because there's trouble. This is about our police department's commitment to serve our community with transparency and accountability and integrity. And it's just the way they want to do policing in Olympia.
Yeah.
So good on you guys.
Yeah.
And then we moved into the referral and reports part of the part of the agenda, and there was a referral that was signed by all the members of the Finance Committee, and this referral was actually giving taking leadership. The committee, the city. Demonstrating leadership by allocating $30,000 from council goal funds to the nonprofit World Relief to help support the organization continue to help its work with immigrants and refugees who've chosen to call Olympia home. So the thing about this is our community has a number of immigrants and refugees who are legally settled here with the help of World Relief, and they're settled here as part of the U.S. government's refuge resettlement funds program. So the government funded them resettling here, and then with the new administration, that funding and that work has been stripped away. So these funds go for things like helping people find stable housing, helping people orient to a new culture and language, and helping them get their kids in school. So, there are a lot of families who've been depending on World Relief for this support, and World Relief has depended on the federal government to support its work, as it always has, through the government's own program. They're our neighbors, and they still need that help.
Yeah.
So council supported that unanimously, and they also put out a call to our neighboring jurisdictions to also support these new community members.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I believe it's somewhere over 30 families that this will assist.
Yeah,
it's a really big deal.
Right. It's a big deal, and it's important for these folks to have a safe and a successful landing in our community.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
good on council for that.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
And
then there was just reports where the council members talked about their meetings they attended, and the city manager talked about a potential joint meeting with the Port of Olympia to work together on joint plans and agendas. We have a comp plan, they have a master plan. We overlap in a lot of ways, and so it's good to work together on that.
yeah. And then after reports at 7:22 p.m., the council broke into executive session. They were meeting for no more than 90 minutes, and they were going to discuss a real estate matter and litigation, or potential litigation, I should say.
Right.
And so, the meeting was adjourned.
And there you go. Boom. Okay. We got through that, and it wasn't very salty, considering I was feeling a little salty. All right. Well, thank you for joining us. If you're watching us live, stay tuned, because you can see the council meeting we just talked about happen before your very eyes, or you can watch it or any of our programming on demand on olitv3.com, or, you know what I'm going to say, download the app, because it's so darn good.
It is.
Right.
And then if you want to come hang out with us on a Tuesday night, we'll be here in council chambers.
We'll save a seat for you.
And with that, we're adjourned.